Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and highest honors to Yahweh. It's the name of the Heavenly Father in Paleo-Ancient Hebrew, and to Yahweh Shai, the one you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, his name in Paleo-Ancient Hebrew. Double honors to the Apostle Elders of Great Millstone and Rule Well, and salutations to the few brothers and sisters that may come across this video. All right, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Ariaga from the Grand Rapids, Michigan camp, here with another nifty lesson. All right, let's get straight into it. So what's going down? It's obvious. Right now, we see these tech industries investing heavily in AI. Why? Because AI is going to be the way that they manage this new money system. This money system that's coming into fruition, of course, is going to be ran underneath the guise of the market of beasts, according to the Bible. 666, all right, digital currency, the RFID chip, if you will, okay, to be quite blunt. And the system that you see is coming into play is why silver and gold prices have been elevated so high, all right, because they're getting rid of is paper currency, because it was always meant to be a fiat fake currency, a temporary currency. That was what it's always been created to be. And now that it served its purpose in keeping people in debt, what they're doing is going to the next phase, which is the digital currency. As we often talk about from the Apostle Great Millstone on down, we often go into, speaking on, the mark of the beast being the chip and the Neuralink. Okay, so in this lesson, we're just going to get heavily into that with a couple of videos that'll help explain it, match with the scriptures. You know how we do. All right, what it's about here. It's not something that you can say is going to come in the next 4 or 5 or 6, 10 years, or like that nigga Alizé, 1,000 years, motherfucker. No. All right, the way things are looking, this could be coming out mid to late this year. This is how hard Trump and them are pushing this digital currency. All of these world forums that they have as well. Hey, all of these countries are on board to some extent or another. And the ones that aren't on board with it, shit, like Iran and these different places that are out of the reach of these bankers, they've been public enemy number one on NATO's, especially America's, watch list for a long time now. So it's very relevant that this can bring about World War III, because it's a lot of countries that don't mind. These Edomite countries, they don't give a damn. They are with the mark of the beast. They like, hey, shit, fuck it, let's do it. What is it, in Sweden and stuff? They didn't have the lockdowns. Why? Because the majority of their population is already chipped, and that's really what that whole, COVID situation was about. All right, exercising their right to control individuals, controlling the way you move. That's why they're making these 15-minute cities. What did they do? Israel and America, they had their press conference, and I think that was Donald Trump Jr. that was talking about that. And then they were just unveiling how they want to rebuild Gaza. And it's a 15-minute electrical city, or a digital city, excuse me. And that's what it's all about. They did the same thing with Maui. They want to do the same thing with all of these places that were destroyed by these, miraculously destroyed by these fires, these random fires that burnt down everything but trees and all kind of crazy stuff, But this is what it's all about, though. This mark of the beast. All right, the World War III will not come until this mark of the beast is introduced. All right, and we are on the cusp. Let's go.
Big Pharma just created a smart pill, and it's going to change how we take medicine forever.
Big Pharma just created a smart pill and it's going to change how we take medicine forever. The FDA just granted the first approval for this brand new way of digital medicine. It's not a normal pill, it's what's called a drug device combination. Inside every single tablet, there's a tiny sensor that sends a signal to a wearable patch on your body. That patch then sends a signal to a smartphone app, which sends all of your data back into the system. They're telling you it's a massive breakthrough for patient care, but what is it actually for? Let's take a look at what the CEO of Pfizer has to say. FDA approved the first electronic pill, if I can call it like that. It is basically a biological chip that it is in the tablet. And once you take the tablet and dissolves into your stomach, sends a signal that you took the tablet. So imagine the applications of that. Compliance. With the great reset and the push for total elite control, you have to ask yourself, is this really about helping you remember to take your pills? Or is it something about having full control over you? We're entering a time where biometric compliance is being normalized and the elites are gaining the ability to track your every move. They will have a full record of exactly what is in your body at all times. And when this eventually ties into digital IDs and you don't comply, they will be able to freeze your access to society, block your ability to buy food, or even shut off your digital wallet altogether. This is one of the reasons I decided to open my own YouTube channel and go deeper into topics just like this. If you want me to send you the link, just comment YouTube below and I'll send. And that's what it's all about. That digital currency, that control that they have over you. Let's get it. All right, let's go straight to Revelation with this. Let's get straight to it. Revelation 13 and 16. And it states, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And what does that word mark say? Let's see, let's go ahead and let's just bust it down into the interlinear. Okay, that's obviously not Revelation 13 and 16. I don't know what the hell just happened. I hate when that happens. Sometimes Blue Letter Bible will do that weird ass shit, you know. It'll kick you out or take you to a scripture that has nothing to do with it, you know what I'm saying? So Revelation 13 and 16. Let's just go into that word mark real quick. All right. Because it said rich and poor, free and bond. And like he said, or he pointed out, like, you will not be able to, they can freeze you out of society. You don't want to compromise or you don't want to, you know, basically do what they say. They can lock you out of the system. Once again, that's that control. They want to be like the Most High so bad, right? They do. Esau want to be like the Most High so bad that they will create a system that limits even their own people. As long as you are amongst the elites and what have you, you know, you can move a lot different, but they see us as cattle anyway. They call us goyim. It's Hebrew for cattle. Well, that's Yiddish for cattle.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma.
Charagma, a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or on the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. Anti means against. So if you're against any of the teachings of the Bible and the Heavenly Father, you can't be like, oh, I believe in, 90%. I believe in 99%. If you don't believe in 100% of what this word says, and it's not based upon your own understanding, it's based upon starting with the apostle elders of Great Millstone on down, who are seasoned in this thing, who are and the men on down, and all of the men who push this thing of truth and sincerity under that guidance, if you're not properly trained in teaching this word or called to do it, you're wasting your time. Pastor Porkchop is going to get you destroyed. And so are any of these offshoot niggas like Genesis and what have you. All right. It says, the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist, the mark branded upon horses, things carved, sculpted, graven work. All right. That's what that charagma is, man. Okay, it's not some embargo, because you got these dumb niggas that'll say it's Christianity or it's fucking with white women or it's an embargo. No. Haragma from the same as G5482, a scratch or etching, i.e. stamp, as a badge of servitude. All right, because what does the scripture say? You can't serve two masters. All right, let's get that real quick. All right, graven mark figure. Karax.
Strong's G5482. Charax. Charax.
A pale or stake, a palisade. And a palisade is like, you see the, or a pale in a stake, when you have a picket fence, you have the white picket fence. Those are stakes, all right? Palisades is something that's inserted into the, hold on, let's check it out. All right, a palisade, a fence of wooden stakes or iron railings fixed in the ground. All right, and what does that mean? That Karax, it has to go inside of you. That's the tool that they use to implant the chip inside your hand. All right. Let's go back and let's see that. So that mark has to be something that's inserted in you. It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. 666. Let me see something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up and I'm gonna get back to these videos. MASTERS. This is Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. You can't serve the Most High and serve Esau, this system for these monetary riches. I was looking at that interview with Jamal Crawford, and it was I forgot the dude that was in that was interviewing him. I forgot his name, but he was like, shit. He said, Jamal Crawford kept saying it's not about the money, man. He kept saying, shit, for $100 million you wouldn't get back in that ring. He said, shit, for $100 million. He said, yeah, but then it'd be like selling your soul. It's too much like selling. That's selling your soul. He's all like, shit, for $100 million, they can have my soul. He's all like, and now we know what manner of man you are. You know what I'm saying? Now we know what type of nigga you are. You can be bought off. So you can't serve two masters, because remember it said it's a mark of servitude. For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. Let's get back to this little videos, man.
This brand new way of digital met.
All right, now check this out. This one is by Mr. Beast.
Guys, the most futuristic technology on the planet. But next, we're going with the $10,000 technology, Neuralink, which is a computer chip surgically implanted into the brain, enabling people like Nolan here to reconnect to the world. So you were paralyzed from the neck down.
Yeah, and for about 8 years, I was trying to find some purpose in my life.
And then you got Neuralink, and what has that changed?
Anything anyone can do on a computer, I can do.
And he literally does it by using only his brain. You are currently moving that with your thoughts.
Yeah, man.
I want to see you send a text with your brain.
Okay.
His hands are paralyzed, but we're going to film them so you can see they're not moving. And using the neurons firing in Nolan's brain, Neuralink can translate those signals into movements. He just typed hi with his mind. Is this not crazy to anyone else? But that's not all he can do. So you just think left, and you're about to turn left.
Left, right, don't die.
No!
There we go.
He absolutely crushed us playing with only his mind.
I never thought would allow me to do anything like this.
And future technology can not only help the mind, but also the body. Guys, the most futuristic technology on the planet. But next,
And you know, this guy is, I mean, if you're not familiar with this guy, this is Mr. Beast. So what he showed you is the Neuralink technology. This is the brain chip. Remember, it said a mark on your right hand or your forehead, all right? So this Neuralink is the mark on your forehead. And you see how they try to make it look all cool and shit? He can play games with it without having to use his hands, and he can send messages and shit. And people are getting oh shit, I'm glad I'm like. And people are getting lazier and lazier, right? Like on Jetsons. Remember on the Jetsons, the motherfuckers didn't even have to walk and shit. They'll just stand on a goddamn conveyor belt and it'll take them wherever the fuck they wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? They were lazy as hell, dog. And one thing you didn't see, I don't remember seeing no nigga on the Jetsons. But regardless of the matter, you know, they were that weak. They were weak, lazy people because they had all of these advances in technology, man. And this is what you see it coming to now. Why you think people are dying earlier from these different diseases and shit? Because they not.
Listen to what this
you're not exercising your normal, just being normal. You know what I'm saying? Check this out.
Because a digital currency, this is all accepted. This is all accepted. This is not theory. Is programmable. They can program a digital currency to mean you can only spend it on certain things and you can't spend it on others not designated by the government. And it's programmable so it can only be spent in a certain area. So if you go outside of your zone, your money won't work. And not only that, it means that when you go past one of these number plate cameras when you, quote, shouldn't, you won't be able to challenge the fine because the fine will be taken out of your digital account the moment you transgress.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's happening. Now, digital currencies.
Like you said, the moment you transgress, and transgression is breaking the law. All right, in the scriptures, when you transgress, that's breaking the law, statutes, and the commandments, man.
Are called central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, because
and this is knowledge that's been out here, man. So it's not like this is some new thing, you know.
Alaska is becoming the first testing ground for plans to create a digital ID system for Americans. This ties in with changes being made to the state's My Alaska digital identity system, which could potentially be interwoven with artificial intelligence and payment functions. Oh, it is. It is. We're going to get more into it, guys, but wild times, and excuse me, I've been battling a cold. That's why I've been missing, but I have quite a few updates and different videos today. You're going to want to make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell because, yeah, we got a lot to get through throughout this whole day. But let's take a look at this.
A plan to create a digital ID system for Americans is now being rolled out, and Alaska is becoming the first testing ground. This ties in with changes being made to the state's My Alaska digital identity system, which is now being interwoven with artificial intelligence and payment functions. Now, according to a document from Alaska's Department of Administration's Office of Information Technology, as obtained by Reclaim the Net, it says, the state is considering implementing agentic artificial intelligence models within My Alaska application to enhance service delivery to users of the application. So what does that actually entail? Well, one part would be to allow AI to complete applications, do eligibility checks, and complete, quote, multi-step government service transactions on behalf of users. But the plan actually goes further than this. They're looking to integrate biometric authentication. Think facial recognition, fingerprinting, and also have smart wallet integration in the app as well. Now, look, this has some benefits. It really does, mainly when it comes to efficiency, ease of use, especially security. It can do a lot of good to get rid of, theft and fraud, for example. But this also represents a problem of just overall consolidation. All of your info, your biometrics, your financial information, potentially even like your internet activity, your digital footprint, all collected in a single place and then monitored with an all-seeing artificial intelligence system working for the government that's going to look for anything and everything that's off. But this plan in Alaska, it's also raising concerns over potential abuses that have been seen in countries that actually already have similar systems. We can look, for example, at the Chinese Communist Party's social credit system, one of the worst case examples we see in the current state of the world. In China, under the communist regime, the system gives every single person a good citizen rating or a bad citizen rating. Get too low, and you even lose your ability to make payments in the digital currency. And because of that, you get to be homeless because you can't rent a home, you can't buy food, businesses won't hire.
Alaska is becoming the first testing ground for plans to create a
So Alaska is the first testing ground for that system. So it's here in the U.S. in the U.S.
That control grid that you better get your
Hold
finances
on, let me
straight
see.
now.
Let me check
Well, the
it. Let
next
me
part-
see.
You better get your finances. That control grid that I've been warning you about, it arrived here in America, brought to you by none other than Apple. I worked for Apple for 17 years and still hold quite a bit of stock, so it brings me no joy in telling you this. But there are no good guys here, and that's exactly why we need to shut it down while we still can. Apple just rolled out digital ID integration. Sounds convenient, right?
Fair use. Excuse me. Fair use. The use is fair.
But every convenience has a price. Once your identity goes digital, it becomes programmable. And once it's programmable, it becomes controllable. You are handing over your entire identity wrapped in a product, a file that can easily be deleted. If you don't comply, you lose access. If they don't like your opinion, they freeze your accounts. Step out of line. No travel, no bank transfers, no benefits. This isn't speculation. It's already live. Thailand has programmable digital currency. Europe introduced biometric wallets. Canada froze accounts during protests. China's where the pilot began, and they're in full production mode with a live social credit system. They're secretly building the infrastructure at a global level right now, not through laws or force, yet. They're building it through updates and convenience. In Vietnam, they deleted 86 million bank accounts because people wouldn't agree to a digital ID. In the EU, by 2027, they're outlawing large cash payments, forcing people onto digital rails that they can control. This is just the on-ramp. Your freedom becomes conditional when your identity is controlled by a corporation or a government that can revoke it with a keystroke. This is how dystopia arrives, not with tanks or force, with app updates or convenience. Pay attention and push back while you still can. Let's go. That control grid that I've been warning you about.
Yeah, Apple, I mean, you got them cats running to buy all that Apple shit, man. And really, they have some of the highest surveillance technology available. Spy on you. I did a couple videos on that, man. Apple is a monster. A monster is goddamn 666, right? Ha ha ha. 666 on the can. Monster energy drink. Exodus 23:2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to rest judgment. So thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. The majority is going to go after all of these new technologies and shit because they make it look like it's cool and it's the thing to do and it's the new fad and shit. Or really, they just setting you up, steadily using gradualism to ease you into that market of beast, to accepting it,
You better get your finances straight now or you're going to be cooked.
You've already signed up for the digital ID without even knowing it. Here's how. There won't be a sign-up sheet or app that you have to download. Digital ID will be created for you by our generous government. It will simply be given to you without your required participation or consent. Once implemented, one by one, all the systems you use, financial, health, education, the internet, shopping, etc., will all require it. Without it, you'll be cut out of the system. This is happening right now in Russia and India. How will they do this? It's quite clever and simple. And this is how it's already been done in other countries like Denmark and Italy, where they issued 40 million digital IDs. All the government needs is to pair your government ID with biometric data. They can then combine your legal identity with your biometric data and create your digital ID. That's it. Poof, and it's done. So how are they already doing this? Well, the necessary ingredients came online when the Real ID Act was implemented, because it is no longer just a state ID, but now a national federal ID. And where do you need it? At the airport. The airport is where TSA set up their biometric face scanners. That's the data that's combined when you show your Real ID or another federal ID. That combination is the recipe for a digital ID, and you're creating it without even realizing it. So, the most important step you can take is to opt out of TSA's facial scanners every time you fly, and never provide biometric data to anyone. Without the biometrics, no digital ID can be created. If you want to remain free of total surveillance and control,
Hey,
opt out now.
Drop.
it don't fucking matter if you opt out or not. It's coming. You know, it's already here. So don't get it set in your mind that you got this revolution you can go through and, we're going to stand up, make a difference. It's going to happen. Why? Because the word said it. It's prophecy. The mark of the beast has to happen, and it's going to happen soon. All right? And there ain't no embargo and Christianity and all sin and all this dumb shit, man. Bro, wake up.
Listen to what this nigga literally just said 2 days ago, bro. Last year, I promised to make America the Bitcoin superpower of the world and the crypto capital of the planet, and we're taking historic action to deliver on that promise, as you know, around the table. Yesterday, I signed an executive order officially creating our strategic Bitcoin reserve, and this will be a virtual Fort Knox for digital gold to be housed within the United States Treasury. That's a big thing. Nobody wants to listen to me, but I was the nigga that was telling everybody what was going to happen in like 2019, bro. I literally told y'all the last bull run that the next one is going to be a $10 trillion come up. Only at like 2.9, when we is at 4.2. They said this shit when the market cap was at like 1.4, bro. I literally told y'all the shit that is going on right now. Peep. Oh, I really heard that this USCR shit can really do the race. Currently only at 1 cent when it really went all the way up to 20 cents, and they're saying it's going to $1 soon. They're even doing something with XRP Labs, the proof of reserve. Long story short, bro, you want to be in this crypto market, you want to be in a great play like that before all of this bread start flowing in, bro. It's about to be 2026, and we're trying to be up. You feel me? Oh my!
Yeah. Your boy Trump, I remember when he said that he would not, when his first term, he said something to the effect that he didn't want to deal with cryptocurrency, and that he would not, and all of this. But that was the okie doke. He set up a lot of motherfuckers for failure, because if he came out and said this type of shit right now that he's doing, those fucking redneck, red hat devils would have never, and niggas, and Latinos and shit, y'all would have never voted for this dude. If you understood the system that they're about to implement, which dictates your every move, what you can spend your money on. And if they got a problem, they can block you out of the system with the press of a button, whether you have it or not. Really, they can do more than that. They can execute your ass with that. They can administer vaccines with that shit. That's why I showed that pill first, that electronic pill.
The first thing that doesn't make any sense is
when the next article came out in 2013. Y'all remember I was telling y'all about how they can send out signals in order to disable you, right?
5G remote kill vector science paper reveals cell phone signals can activate a release of biological payloads from graphene oxide injected into the body. Now that's the same thing that them chemtrail planes and everything else doing.
Yes, and we breathing that in every day. It's also coming from those jabs too, because that graphene, they showed you multiple times that it's graphene in them jabs, but it's also graphene in those chips. All right, give me them chips. It's in them chips. So when they put that inside of you, the scripture goes into talking about a grievous sore coming up on individuals, or a cancerous sore, right? Well, let me go ahead and let them cook real quick.
Wi-Fi. It can transmit and receive energy, messages, or frequencies, or impulses.
That's the kind of death we're talking about when they're hit with a pulsed microwave 5G signal.
That issue has never been addressed by these companies. Well, what does that do to the human, right? Just imagine you're getting this new substance in you, and it can react to things all around you. The 5G, your smart device, your phones.
COVID-19 vaccine, not a vaccine. What it actually is, it is an antenna, is injecting them with these nanometer material antennas. In fact, it's a graphite ferrous oxide antenna. It's a self-replicator. It has a magnetic field. It emits a magnetic field. It's a reflection of movement RFIDs. I can hit them with a sub-gigahertz frequency, and that causes an atonic seizure and kill them.
We are now seeing more 5G cell towers going in. The school systems, the cruises, the hospitals, etc., are putting more and more of this EMF frequency out.
Remember back in 2020, them things weren't just getting implanted in you for no fucking reason. Now your ass connected to an iCloud, what they call iCloud of IEEEs. Go and look it up. The resonant with DNA penetrate flesh and bone, pass through windows in some walls, cause aggressive and stress, induce hypnotic states, and murder the thinking. Curved audio or subliminal messages induce depression or suicidal thoughts or any human emotion, and deprive of sleep, cause diseases and cancer. That's another effect. Check all this out. That the electromagnetic stimulation of the brain can be used to control and murder people silently. In the 2000s, Dr. Robert Duncan developed Satan, or Soul Catcher, the cutting-edge project of synthetic telepathy with military and intelligence applications. Satan, silent assassination through adaptive networks, a system of technology that manipulates brainwaves and behavior through remote means. Synthetic tail. Check it out. This, what I've been trying to tell y'all. Only thing that it takes is a certain frequency in order to just get rid of your ass. And if you think it's just it's such for on, then you gotta understand that DARPA got smart dust that's also coming out these planes that's this size that you can't even see on your finger. Now read this right here and you tell me what you think. Also, it was a video from Mike Adams who's talking about that synthetic ass that they got going on, that the only thing they gotta do is press the kill switch. I told y'all in a couple videos before, you think that your body is not hackable. Well, how the fuck do you think that you are in a matrix? That means your body is most definitely hackable. You have to cleanse your body in order to stay relevant, in order to stay pure, in order to not be one of them people who can't reincarnate, because this is exactly what they're trying to do with AI and such form. On top of that, y'all gotta understand that they've been putting nanotechnology inside of all of the food supply, in the air, in the water, and such form. So it's very important to take care of you, because of health is most definitely wealth in the way out. Understand that they've been doing this in China, because China is the lead of technology and way ahead of everybody. So they already been practicing with 5G, which is somebody in China just came out with 6G. So it's more to come. What we are dealing with is synthetic ass technology, not the ones with the ancient civilizations had, or the last of the real technology from the Tertiary ages. But hey, for more content on these type of topics, y'all let me know.
Self-explanatory. This is what is becoming. This is all associated with the mark of the beast, straight up. Show one more.
When the next crisis hits, the elites are planning to freeze the financial system, and they'll replace it with a new system, one not based on the US dollar. When that happens, we'll wake up to a very strange and disturbing new reality.
And for our viewers that are watching today, what might their reality look like that morning? How does this manifest?
First, they'll have gone to bed knowing that a massive financial crisis was underway. But when they wake up, they'll find it has worsened and the contagion has spread worldwide. When they go to withdraw money, their ATM will say closed temporarily. When they go to sell stocks, their account will say transaction not available. When they go to their local business, that business will only accept cash if it's open. As citizens realize they're being barred from their money, riots will erupt. They've rigged the financial laws, changed the rules of the game to allow this to happen. The stage is set. They have the levers in place. The lights are positioned. Now someone just needs to flick a switch. When the next crisis hits, the elites are planning.
Yeah, they got all their ducks in a row. And trust and believe, they wasn't going to make this move.
Listen to what the first thing
They wasn't going to make this move until they got these things lined up. All right, because this is a one-shot deal. Because once they get this shit popping, once you start rousing Judah up, it's on and cracking. Okay? It ain't no going back. And that's not going to be like when you went from the COVID lockdowns to, you know, shit kind of getting back on the par and shit, you know, kind of like, you know, the same, you know, going back to being similar to what it was before the COVID lockdowns took place. You know, that's not going to happen. Okay? Once the shit hits the fan, it's going to be on everybody's hands. You know what I'm saying? It'll be on your shirt and all of that. This is Job 16:10. They have gaped upon me with their mouth. They have smitten me upon the cheek reproachfully, and they have gathered themselves together against me. And this is also pertaining to what we're about to go through. This is also a future prophecy. All right, because what they doing, they out there abusing you, not just, you know, physically in the streets with ICE and police. I just saw ICE go after a Jamaican lady. They went in and these motherfuckers blew up tear gas and shit during the church service. I just seen that video. The motherfuckers went up in that bitch while they was in the choir and shit, blowing up tear gas and shit like they was going to get Maduro again and shit, you know? Like, yeah, y'all thinking, oh man, they got shit to do with us, just them Mexicans and them Latinos and shit. If you think that, you a goofy ass motherfucker, because guess what? Even though you was born here, for whatever generation, what have you, understand something. You are not. If you got African, you're considered an African American. All right. They consider you a foreign entity, and they show you pretty soon. Nigga, I got rights and shit, motherfucker. Can't no motherfucker tell me I'm not no sick. Nigga, please. Your stupid ass is sitting up in one of them fucking concentration camps looking like a gump, and you'll know. And you and your family up in the bitch shit, you'll know. Where's all your rights and shit then? Who you gonna sue and you get your Draco? Shut your ass up. The Most High is not in your corner. You about to be extremely jacked up. The Most High has delivered me to the ungodly. Bam. What? God has delivered me to the ungodly. Job 16:11. So when you stop and you be, oh, it was Satan, because Satan, motherfucker, it said God delivered you to the ungodly. The Most High control everything. Y'all control everything. Please don't get it twisted. He even controls Satan. What the fuck do you mean? We got, hey, Most High ain't got to get his hands dirty. Hey, that's what Satan is here. He's put here to be the adversary to tempt you. You know what I'm saying? To see if you'll transgress or not. And it says, Job 16:11, the Most High hath delivered me to the ungodly and turned me into the hands of the wicked. All right. And who was the wicked? Esau, Edom. Starting with Esau, Edom, and really 2/3 of our people. It says, I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. He hath also taken me by my neck and shaken me to pieces and set me up for his mark. Now, I wanted to point something out. That word mark is different, right? It says, I was at ease. And trust me, y'all love America. Y'all Americans love entertainment. You are at ease, though. It's nights I don't get that much sleep because I'm meditating on what's to come and what's about to happen, you know? But you got cats it's just, they think everything is everything. They're worried about shit, you know? It says, I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. Because yeah, your ass is going to get broken down when the reality of this whole system kicks in. He has also taken me by my neck and shaken me to pieces, set me up for his mark. The word mark right there. Remember, before it was charagma, but this word mark is different. Still relevant. All right, it's still very relevant. Because what you see is a lot of these cats getting taken and tossed into these ICE facilities, right? So Hebrew, the word mark is
Strong's H 4307. Matara. Matara.
guard, ward, prison, mark, target. What are they doing? They want to throw these people in these concentration camps who do not want to get that mark of the beast. If you don't want to get that electric monitoring device put in your body, they want to throw your ass in one of these concentration camps, okay? Guard, ward, prison, target, mark. Figure of chastisement. When you get chastised, you're getting punished. Why? Because you don't want to get that mark of servitude. What did it say? Servitude. It was a mark of servitude. And like I showed you in the scriptures in Mark, hey, you can't serve two masters, God and mammon. It says a jail as a guardhouse, also an aim as being closely watched. And what's that mark do? It make it so they can monitor everything your ass do, all the way down to what the fuck you eat. All right? That's what it's all about when it comes down to it, is they want to be the most high. They want to keep track of you. They want to be able to control everything that you do and eventually everything that you think. That's what it's about, okay? So this mark of the beast is coming soon. It's here, all right? Only thing they have to do is make it mandatory, and that can happen overnight, dog. So with that, I pray you're edified. Do your research. That's all you got to do. Do your research and see if it's true. But the proof is in the pudding, right? So with that, I pray you were edified. All praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Hashem Rabbi Chakodash. Until the next time, I bid you Shalom.